world, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, the challenger in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing solid white trunks, joining us all the way from Vibo, Valencia, Italy. He weighed in at a ready 139 pounds, and his record includes 29 wins, only 1 defeat, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the Olympic gold medalist, the former Italian and WBO lightweight world champion, currently ranked the WBC number 5 super lightweight contender, introducing the Italian stallion, Giovanni Flesh Parisi. And his opponent across the ring on my left, the defending world champion, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing blue trunks, fighting out of and representing Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico. He weighed in at the super lightweight limit of 140 pounds. His tremendous record represents one of the best in boxing today, with 93 wins, only 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 80 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 5-time world champion in 3 weight divisions. Please welcome one of boxing's great champions, the current WBC super lightweight champion of the world. Demos la bienvenida al gran campeón mexicano, introducing Julio César Chavez. Once again, here's the referee in charge, Joe Cortez.
All right, caballeros, ya yo le di las reglas en el camerino a los dos. Quiero una pelea limpia. Ya sabe, cuando yo diga break, quiero que me dé un break limpio. Dense la mano, suelte a los dos. Okay.
The latest up-to-the-minute odds from the Caesars Palace Sportsbook. Chavez, a 4-1 favorite. A man who has relied on the accumulative effect over the years. Tremendous heart, granite chin, hard head. Usually gets stronger in the later rounds. Giovanni Parisi, as Purdy mentioned, built along the lines of Frankie Randall. The only man to beat Chavez. Fights a lot like Randall, relentless, in and out. Here we go, round 1, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Chavez in the blue trunks and Parisi in the white trunks.
I'll tell you, Steve, the odds are only 4-1. They were 6.5 to 1. They've come down some late money on the challenger.
Parisi uses the angles. He switches. He's very motivated. Had his lightweight title stripped. He has gone 10 rounds only 2 times, 12 rounds only twice. Would you say he needs to get busy early, because the deeper this fight goes, the stronger Chavez gets?
It's a good possibility, Steve. Chavez has always been a notoriously slow starter, but you never can tell. If the young champion, the young challenger has a good first half, he may want to just take this and keep winning.
And Ferdy, of course, Chavez, an outstanding finisher when he gets an opponent in trouble. The questions, are his skills eroding finally after 95 fights?
Well, they're certainly not what they were, but that's still top of the heap. And I'm left with a lot of gym rats, old guys, hated guys that have big, long necks like Parisi. They say, can't take a punch. When they look at the long, thin neck on Parisi, they go, can't take a punch. Well, we'll see, because he's going to be tested by Chavez, who does punch. There's a good right hand by Chavez, right on a button.
We asked Parisi for his approach, his strategy. He replied, I'm walking into the ring believing in myself. Whatever happens after the bell will happen. I have to see what Chavez has.
So it certainly seems he's settled in on using that left hand as a rangefinder in the paw, holding his right hand back, trying to stay on outside.
But certainly isn't a good jab. It's not a hard jab. It's not even, it's a testing feeling, where are you jab. You know, it's like nothing jab.
Is Parisi going in looking for the knockout? Parisi said ever so cautiously to us, there's always the possibility, but he thinks, yes, even here in Las Vegas, he can win a decision. We have seen some strange scoring.
Let's go.
Cortez able to speak Spanish, which one of them can understand, and the other half can understand. Most Italians are so close to Italian, they can understand what they're saying.
Well, these two guys know the rules, and they basically know what's going on, so I don't think the talking is going to be too much either way.
Well,
We asked Parisi how he keeps Chavez in check. He said, make sure I don't hurt my hands. He's got a hard head. Parisi has had some problems with his hands in the past.
You know, I've seen a lot of scars on fighters' hands from surgery, including my own, and he has had some serious problems.
I don't see this as a very interesting first round. I think it's typical Chavez. Just come in, see what you got, and let the other guy throw some things, but not very impressive right now. It's Parisi, although he's winning the round because he's doing the only fighting.
Less than 10 seconds in the opening round. Parisi, who came into the fight wearing that medallion around his neck, contributed to his mom. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
Okay, thank you, Steve. Luis Santana was taken to Valley Hospital after his fight with Terry Norris. Dr. Flip Homansky has been in contact with the hospital. Can you tell us and give us an update on Santana's condition?
Luis will be admitted to the hospital for observation. He's had a CAT scan that was normal. He's had an emergency brainwave study, an EEG, that's being read right now. His lab work is normal. It will strictly be for observation. He took a good punch. This is not the same situation that happened in Mexico, but he is alert and talking.
What you're telling us is he's fine, basically.
We hope he's going to be fine. He will be in for observation.
Doctor, we appreciate you taking the time. We are told by Grant Elvis Phillips, who is Luis Santana's manager, that they will no longer fight Terry Norris. They consider him to be a dirty fighter and want nothing else to do with him. Let's go back to Steve.
All right, thank you, Jim. Norris disqualified at the end of round 3 earlier tonight for hitting after the bell. The bell he says he did not hear, so Santana retains the title on his back.
That's how he won it.
Exactly.
You can make a whole career of this.
Unbelievable. Round 2.
I don't know if it's up to him to decide whether he fights him or not, but I don't think the commission's going to make him fight him after 2 disqualifications like that. I think that's it for Terry. He's going to go out and start chopping on some other wood and some other doors.
Good right hand by Chavez after an uneventful first round.
Chavez pressing the action a little more than normal here in the early rounds. He's coming forward quite actively.
We talked about Chavez's hard head. Once when he was x-rayed, doctors actually found that he had an unusually thick cranium, which may account for the fact that he doesn't even wince when he gets hammered to the head.
Unless Frankie Randall's hitting.
Well, even then he smiled when he got up. But I tell you one thing, I must be getting soft because I'm getting so used to seeing Chavez. I'm starting to get nostalgic, hoping that he keeps on fighting because he's such a beautiful thing to watch. I'm thinking, oh, this is coming to an end. This guy is so good.
Yes, he says the final journey will conclude at the end of the year. After this one, 4 more to reach 100 fights. Chavez fighting for the 96th time. 1/3 of his fights have been championship fights, 32 of them. And he says you'll see. Oh, down goes Parisi.
That's just with a jab.
It was the shotgun jab. He timed him stepping in. Parisi got his foot caught under him and he slammed him with the jab.
It's exactly what we saw before. A guy coming in got hit by, and a very short one at that. Now let's see if Chavez shows an interest to get out of here early.
He is one of the great finishers of all time. Let's see if he can take advantage and not let Parisi off the hook. Parisi trying to compose himself after the knockdown.
Looks to be more of a flash knockdown than a brutal, debilitating knockdown, but you never can tell.
Not the first time he's been knocked down.
Certainly nothing good comes from it. At the very least, his confidence is a little shaken. He knows a little tiny jab can put him on the seat of his pants.
So Julio César Chavez putting Giovanni Parisi on the canvas here in round 2.
Flashing punch by Chavez that missed, but you could see his intention was to get out of here early.
Started to say prior to the knockdown, Chavez said you'll see a better, stronger Julio tonight, and that was right on cue. Less than 30 seconds to go in round 2.
Parisi not even getting close to him. I mean, he's just not doing anything. Look like those punches are just absolute water.
You know, right now he's in a very defensive mode. He's trying to stay away from the big shots, roll, slip, just basically pull with that right. Let's shoot him that left hand. Once in a while, a nice right.
Final seconds of round 2.
Oh, look at that shot to the body. Oh.
Chavez turning it up at the peg. Let's go to the Parisi corner. Our translator, Maria Santini.
Hello.
Tranquilo, leggera. Stai tranquillo.
Non fermarti davanti, usa di più quel sinistro. Devi usare di più il sinistro. Non starli
Use the left hand more.
Un secondo e pam, e via.
And wait 2 seconds and then go up after him.
Respira bene, Gio.
Giuliano, Mappi.
Respira bene.
Ready to go.
Respira bene.
And let's take a look at that knockdown. This is the shotgun jab. Now, not only is the jab there, but his legs have collapsed under him. It's almost a perfect thing.
It's kind of a flash knockdown. I don't think he even sees it. I think he blinks and it just hits him. And you're right. His leg caught under him. Flash knockdown, but he's letting you know the power's there. Is Chavez.
You know, it's more than that. I think he's letting him go because he wants to punish him. There was a lot of ugly feeling in the way because he said something ugly about Mexican fighters in his country, Mexico. And you know, Chavez never gets mad. They translate it in a strange way. Chavez all of a sudden gets really irate. He wants a beating.
And we remember, of course, what Chavez did to Greg Haugen. Oh, good left hand by Parisi. That in front of over 136,000 at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City after Haugen had a few things to say.
Yeah, this is not one of the guys you want to get mad. And they had words sort of at the end of the round when Chavez fired off 2 punches after the bell.
So round 3, Parisi knocked down a minute 23 into round 2 in flash knockdown fashion.
Parisi throwing better combinations now. Landed a clean left hook and a couple little short right hands on the inside. You see there he's trying to rip the right uppercut. He wants to get his pound of flesh and get some respect back.
He's punching much harder. It's not that powder puff stuff anymore.
And Chavez
he's got to keep Chavez up. He's got to.
Beginning to punish Parisi. Parisi trying to stay away. A backlash by Parisi, and Chavez indicating to Joe Cortez that's the case. But it was Cortez cautioning Chavez for a low blow.
Yeah, that was way south of the border.
Now, Chavez going to the body.
Now starts the attack on the sides. And that's the stuff that crunches you in.
Those liver shots.
The liver shots, the shots to both sides, left or right, and it doesn't make any difference for him.
Here's the jab by Chavez. Let's see if it sets up the right. When he is on, he is the complete package. Julio César Chavez.
He's so systematic with what he does. He takes you and breaks you down piece by piece, and then takes the whole thing and puts it all together all round long.
Parisi may be very motivated having that title stripped, but it's so difficult against the fabled Chavez. Lunging right, but Parisi showing some defense. Able to slip away. Pawing right hand by Parisi. Chavez in command. Good duck under move. Chavez looking very quick.
Chavez just looks like he wants to be in there a little bit longer before he opens up. And he has not really started throwing the leather that he's capable of.
Watch those elbows.
Yeah, the guys are both very cute on the inside. You see elbows, you see shoulders, little forearm, both very cute on the inside.
Well, you know that Chavez knows every trick in the book. Now that guy will hit you with everything but his belly button. I mean, he is a master. He's slick. He's beautiful.
Parisi, Olympic gold medalist, says that's his biggest accomplishment. And right now, Chavez continues to have his way.
He's starting to dig a good left hook to the body on Parisi. He's hitting him just above and on the hip, even once in a while a little below, like there.
Respira. Le haces mucho daño abajo, ¿te das cuenta? Hay que repetirle esa mano abajo. No te vuelvas loco por pegarle porque él no te está ganando, porque hasta que no se para a cambiar golpes.
Buffalo says don't go crazy to chase him to try to hit him. You're winning the fight. Don't go crazy chasing him until the fight evens out, then go get him.
Cuando pases la
All right, this is the punching of Chavez, which sometimes travels south of the border. Doesn't do it intentionally, but there it is. And boy, is that perfect.
Perfectly bad.
Whoa. I don't know how that guy stood up. I mean, Parisi could have just dove for the canvas there and taken a nice little count.
Round 4 for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship, scheduled for 12. Parisi went down in the second, showing no ill effects, though, in the next round. Parisi's chin coming in suspect. He's been knocked down 6 times prior to tonight, 3 times in one fight. in his only defeat, a third-round KO to Antonio Rivera in 1990, his first fight following an 8-month layoff.
Are you telling me that the long neck theory holds? Guys with long necks like this don't take good punches?
You are correct, sir.
Well, you know, structurally, it's obviously a little bit of a difference, and it does appear that does have an effect.
Well, it's because your head swivels back and forth, and that's what knocks you out. Guys thick-necked that hold their neck down have much better chances.
In viewing Parisi, Chavez said, he's a good boxer, he's very sharp, but not in my category, and so far, living up to advertisement.
At least Parisi's going to the body, trying to get something to slow down Chavez. Break.
What he's also doing, he's trying to time Chavez on the march when he comes in with that uppercut. He's trying to slip a punch and throw the uppercut, but I think what he has to do is use a stiffer jab and a couple more combinations. He's going to ward off the champion.
Parisi does have 22 knockouts in his 29 wins, but certainly hasn't fought the kind of people Chavez has fought. Chavez digging to the body. Stalking. Swarming. Being pushed away by the shoulder of Parisi. There's that pawing jab, that probing jab by Chavez.
Every one of those is landing, and pretty soon it will start taking effect. You get dizzy from that, because this guy doesn't just put a little jab in there, he puts a jab in there.
His punches are punishing. They constantly inflict damage that shows up 2-3 rounds later, and that's when fighters all of a sudden fold.
Chavez looking to pour down there, but missing with the right. The elusive moves of Parisi. Right hand by Parisi.
Nice, beautiful, right on the button.
Chavez walked right into it, but right on the head.
That's the kind that Randall used to put him on the seat of his pants, and that was a surprise.
The only time he's ever been on the canvas.
Parisi's moved up from a lighter weight, so he's not going to have the same power as Randall, who's steady and who's been here for quite some time.
He is the former WBO lightweight champ. Oh, what a nice left jab by Chavez. And then for political reasons, Parisi was stripped of the title.
I'd like to have that sentence written out and punctuated, if you would.
We've heard it before. Also, less than 30 seconds to go in round 4. Again, Parisi able to duck under. There's that left elbow by Chavez that Joe Cortez takes exception to.
Oh, how'd you like that, Bobby? How'd you like that?
That was a nice move.
Scramble up your spaghetti. Whoa, right on the La Panza.
Left hook there by Chavez, but fortunately for Parisi, a glancing blow as the bell sounds. Let's go over to Jim Gray.
Thank you, Steve. I'm joined by Tommy Hearns, the hitman, who displayed probably the greatest fight ever at Caesar's Palace. Definitely the greatest fight at Caesar's Palace. One of the great fights of all time back on April 15th, 1985 against marvelous Marvin Hagler. Those years have flown by. What do you remember about that night?
That was a heck of a night for me. It was a memory night just constantly be on my mind all the time. It's just something I hope and pray that one day I can just do away with that memory.
Marvin's here tonight. In fact, he's commentating on Showtime. Have you spoken to Marvin?
Me and Marvin speak, but we know there's no more fighting going on. But we just speak because we made each other a lot of money that time. So we speak because we're friends now.
Guy who's a little bit older than you, Larry Holmes, going for a championship tonight. What's your take on the championship bout coming up?
I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm looking forward to the fight. The fight is something I think the public's looking forward to, too.
Tommy, great to see you.
Thanks, man.
All right, let's go back to Steve.
Thank you, Jim. Round 5. This is the scene of so many historic championship fights over the years. Hagler Hearns, Hagler Leonard, Leonard Hearns 1 and 2, and so on and so forth. Let's see now if Chavez can continue to command this fight. Backs Parisi up.
I know Tommy Hearns, a great fighter, a multi-divisional world champion, somebody who I tried for quite some time to match and get in the ring with, but it just never came to pass. He was teasing me before. He said, you know, maybe we can fight it over heavyweight if there's 7 figures around.
Yeah, right. Money talks. Good right hand there by Chavez. Beautiful duck under move by Chavez.
Chavez just appears physically way too strong for Parisi right now. Parisi can't hold his ground, and when Chavez can come forward and be effective, he's almost unbeatable.
Well, there was some question, and apparently the fire is still there as far as Julio César Chavez.
Well, the fire never went out. The reflexes dull a little bit, but the fire will never go out in this guy. This guy will be 60 years old. He's still got that championship heart.
He says he'll wrap it up by the end of 95 with 100 fights, no matter what.
But we would not doubt it if he fought 101, would we? That's just the way of boxing.
He wants to take Randall again. perhaps in late summer or in September.
Parisi has switched to southpaw now, being actually a little more effective. Maybe he's looking for a little bit of Pernell Whitaker type magic.
I think he surprised Julio. It took him a minute to figure out that he had switched around, and he got hit a couple of shots. Not hard, but he got hit.
This is an excellent defensive display by Chavez. Blood from the right nostril of Parisi.
Yeah, I was going to say bleeding from the nose. Not much, but bleeding. He's been bouncing jabs off that long nose of his. He figures to get a little blood coming out.
There's a right hand straight flush on the face by Chavez. Parisi couldn't duck away from that one. Right hand, overhand right there by Chavez. Made contact. Now they exchange in a low blow by Parisi.
Yeah, that's one of the unpleasant things about Chavez. Chavez has been pounding this guy below the belt. Parisi's never said a word. He got hit once. He's making all kind of faces at the referee. You know, come on. Be a sport.
Chavez with a lunging right hand.
Chavez is starting to solve that southpaw style now of Parisi, and same things ensuing that did when he was a righty.
And blood flying from the nose of Parisi.
I never quit thinking that people that swat back and forth. Oh, very nice shot by Parisi. Are fooling themselves.
A sweeping left hook by Parisi as he was spinning around and caught Chavez by surprise. Final seconds, round 5. At the best punch tonight by the challenger. And again, we take it into Parisi's corner. Our interpreter, Maria Santini.
She's asking for water right now. Steve, nothing much said.
Let's take a look at this methodical beating that's beginning to pile up injury on the face. Oh, look at that. Nice right hand right on the big button of Parisi. Parisi's bleeding already from those, understandably why. And now comes Chavez, who always looks like he's going to shoot out of there like a rocket. I never saw it. It's like an old Hollywood movie. It looks like he's ready to just shoot out there and get started.
He is ready, like a caged lion, ready to burst out at Parisi. Not much said at all in that corner by head trainer Giovanni Bocciolini.
The strength is starting to mount, and it's just getting to be too much. The punches, the damage, these debilitating effects that is taking place on Parisi, and he really looks like now it's more of a matter of survival. I don't know that he has enough to hurt Chavez, and he's seeming to realize that.
Round 6 scheduled for 12. It has been all Julio César Chavez. Continues to press the attack, dictating the pace.
I don't know of any boxer watching him in the last 10 years who seems to enjoy boxing as much as Chavez. Of course, if you're the best there is, and it's an all one-way thing, I guess you could enjoy it, but he seems to like to be here.
He says, I still like boxing, but I get tired of it sometimes. I've been fighting professionally now for 15 years. I want to retire with full capabilities and with all my faculties. Again, he moves Parisi back, but not much damage there. Oh, a little bit of a low blow by Chavez there.
He'll hit you anywhere he can.
Now he goes upstairs, Chavez. Oh, a big right hand by Chavez. Flush. Parisi leading with the chin.
Right now, Parisi is staying as a southpaw. It seems to suit him. This is where he wants to be, because he has not gone back to being a righty at all.
I don't think he's done him any good. I don't think he's done particularly better than before. He's still taking an awful lot of shots right on the nose.
Well, he does switch a la Hagler, but how many people can get away with it like Marvelous Mark? Oh, body shots. Thunderous. Now he goes upstairs, Chavez. Again, Parisi complaining he used the elbow, but Cortez says, fight on.
I think he used the elbow, the shoulder, and his head.
Yes.
I don't think he missed any part of himself. He hit him with everything that was movable.
Full repertoire.
He reminded me of Benny Briscoe, middleweight of the old days, who had extra hands.
Yeah, Benny was a great fighter.
Octopus-like. Chavez continues to smother Parisi. Blood all over the white trunks of Parisi. See, the first thing I would do is, if I'm fighting Chavez, I wouldn't wear white trunks.
No. He's finally switched back to being an orthodox boxer. Let's see what happens.
Watch the punches at the back of the head, says Joe Cortez to Chavez. Final seconds, round 6. This for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship.
Ooh, what a nice little uppercut that was, Bobby.
Well, hoping to strike a blow for the older generation. Let's go behind the scenes. A very relaxed 45-year-old Larry Holmes in his dressing room. 13-1 in his second comeback. We're going to have to get Larry a fee for broadcasting. Very nice. Thanks for the plug. Is the trademark jab still effective? Is he inspired by George Foreman? We'll find out shortly in our main event coming up as he takes on the WBC heavyweight champ Oliver McCall here at the Caesars Palace Outdoor Arena. Capacity 15,200, and it is nearly filled to capacity. So we are set now for round number 7. We are halfway through. Julio César Chavez, the champion, thoroughly in control. Parisi comes out with a couple of shots.
Nice left hook to the body, dug in here. He's trying, but it's just not working. He's not strong enough, doesn't hit hard enough, and Chavez is just going through his stuff.
Well, relentless would probably be the best way to describe Julio César Chavez. He has not let up on the pressure.
Well, Parisi fighting much harder right now, as if trying to establish something different than a one-way beating. Look at that. Nice little inside uppercut by Parisi. He's really trying hard. Oh.
Overhand right there by Chavez. Parisi trying to answer back, but getting nothing.
And you can watch Chavez when he counters and he throws combinations, no matter where they are, one of those counters winds up being that left hook to the belly on the side.
It's almost automatic. It's almost automatic.
Quick unofficial check of the scorecards.
I have Chavez way ahead, 59-54.
My scorecard concurs. Only the first round I give to Parisi, and then he got knocked down in the second, so that point got disqualified.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Parisi kind of reminds people of Frankie Randall, the only man to beat Chavez. What is he not doing?
He's not moving away after he punches. He's standing still in front of him getting hit. Frankie would, and Purnell, would give him angles. He doesn't stand in front. Then they punch, and then they move around him. And then they punch, and then they move around him. This guy's not moving at all. He's
not only that, but
in front of him.
not only that, but I think that he's only Randall-like on his offensive modes. I don't think defensively, I don't think inside, I don't think structurally, he's sound enough inside, strong enough under his feet to keep in there.
And on top of that, he loses gas historically after the 6th and 7th rounds while Chavez gets stronger. So Parisi in all kinds of difficulty.
Well, if that's true, then he has a bleak prospect for the rest of this evening, because up to now he's just had a one-way beating. Again, low blows by Chavez.
Oh, left hook by Chavez. Parisi, though, showing a pretty good chin. He was down 123 in a round 2, a flash knockdown. He has been down 7 times in his career up to date. He's 29-1 with 21 knockouts. The challenger in the white trunks. Wild miss by Parisi and opening himself up.
Chavez is just taking his time now, doing what he wants. There's no real pressure or urgency for him to do anything, so he's just doing what he wants.
Less than 30 seconds, round 2. Around the 7th. Bloody nose of Parisi. And a lot of his blood is on the trunks, the white trunks. Again, that great jab of Chavez.
Chavez starting to land the right hand on the inside too, a little more cleanly.
Mira, que el momento de que cuando estés cerquita tienes que meterla de abajo arriba, pero más, un poquito más abierta, en la falla. Muy bien, vamos. Vamos muy bien, vamos trabajando muy bien. Venga. Trágate un poquito de agua. Vamos. Muy bien, Julio. Muy buen trabajo. Sáquenle ahí un poquito.
Not much being said except you're doing very well. Keep that up. There's not any instruction positive to do anything differently. A little water. Julio's saying absolutely nothing. Buffalo Martin usually has good instruction if he needs it, but if he doesn't, he says nothing to change.
La cintura más bajita la cintura.
Bien pegadito, Julio, pegadito a él.
Más bajita la cintura, más bajita.
Parisi looking like a beaten man there in more ways than one. Looked like psychologically just very, very down. Meanwhile, Chavez again ready to charge right out. We begin round 8, scheduled for 12. You got to have good speed. You got to have good lateral movement. That's what you need against Chavez, but we haven't seen much of that here from the challenger Parisi.
Parisi's back to being a southpaw, Freddie.
Yeah, he does. He just flips right back there again.
Now he's just throwing the right hand, loading up Parisi, and Mr. Chavez is countering. Oh, right uppercut by Chavez, right on the chin.
It's a great timing shot, too. Slipped the punch, came up under on the inside, right on the button.
And if you're listening to something that sounds like half a sob and half a whimper, that's Parisi. That's the way he's reacting to every punch or throwing a punch. He's making a little noise that looks like he could break out crying any minute. It's just that his voice is very high, and he has that sort of sobbing sound.
Again, Chavez inside doing damage. Those short, crisp uppercuts taking their toll, and the body shots. The accumulative effect of Julio César Chavez once again. I'll tell you, Parisi, though, showing heart and courage standing in there.
Yeah, he does.
Halfway through the 8th round.
And that's how you know how he's losing this fight totally, because we're reduced to saying about the only good thing we can say is he sure is taking the beating in a nice gentlemanly fashion.
He's landed maybe 1 or 2 clean, hard punches on Chavez.
Right now, he's resorted to kind of jump in from angle to angle and run around, step around. There's nothing being effective whatsoever, Stephen. He's reaching for things now.
Julio César Chavez looking for his 94th win at the age of 32. 93, 1-1 with 80 knockouts. Looking for his 30th win in championship fights. 1 draw, 1 loss. Finally tasted defeat his 91st fight, losing to Frankie Randall. 7 fights ago, many thought he lost his first fight when he met the slick Pernell Whitaker. Left hook there by Parisi, but glancing off the head of Chavez.
The strength factor is just too much here. Chavez can just walk in when he wants to, and Parisi can't really hold him off. See, that's what Frankie Randall could do. Frankie Randall could stand him off and punch him off from time to time. That's why he was so effective.
And many feel that it would be only the just thing to give Randall another shot. Chavez doing a great job with that lead right. Now inviting Parisi in, almost taunting him. The fans reacting. Let's follow Parisi into his corner. Again, the translation of Maria Santini.
Respira bene, respira bene. Non avere fretta, respira bene. Abbiamo il tempo per recuperare. Respira bene.
Respira bene means breathe well. Try to breathe as best as possible.
Giuliano, non hai scaldato il collo. Non l'ha scaldato. Il collo. È ghiacciato, porca madosca.
He just wants to be dried off right now and put some ice on him.
You think he's expecting to get a get-well card from Italy while he's playing here? Nothing's happening in that corner, Maria. Let's watch the uppercut. You know, look at that nice little insight. Oh, God, is this guy a master? And Chavez, again, getting a little mad and said, come on, let's get this thing on. Come on. And the other guy said, not yet. Would you ever think, Steve, would you ever think that the most exciting fight was a heavyweight fight we just saw, and this that figured to be such an exciting, fast fight is fast becoming a yawn?
Bobby said earlier that he was it raised his eyebrows. The pace, the furious pace of the Selden Tucker fight, and now this a totally different story for lesser weight. So Parisi urging Chavez to start winging punches. That might be his only hope now to land that one big blow as we go into round 9.
You see, there's no quitting Parisi. He steps around even though he's absorbing a lot of punishment. And here he is tearing in with left hands, doing what he can, but it's just not strong enough. The strength factor is too great here. The power is too great. And the ability to absorb and ward off is too much.
We've had one knockdown. Parisi went down a minute 23 in the second, a flash knockdown. And at the end of the last round, Chavez inviting, urging Parisi in, taunting him. Almost a la Jake LaMotta. And Chavez just punishing Parisi downstairs and up. Just missed with that right hand, did Chavez.
The crowd has quieted down. You can almost hear a pin drop around here. I mean, it's like a one-way beating you see in the gym, and the other guy has no chance to come on. You're waiting for maybe one shot, something that ripped. You get the feeling, as Bobby said, he's being outstrengthed. He's absorbing everything he throws, and there's no alternative.
Not very much to cheer about here as we are standing by for the main event, the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Oliver McCall and Larry Holmes.
Well, at least that will be exciting. I mean, I can promise the fans that.
A little flurry there by Parisi.
The heavyweights always add more excitement just because of the big one-punch knockout crunching power. And I'll tell you what, at this level, though, these fighters are fighting excellent fights. Chavez is a supreme talent. And Parisi's doing everything he can. He just doesn't have what it takes here.
He's not getting beat up bad enough to get knocked out. He's just getting beaten up. And maybe that's the intention of Chavez. I mean, this guy's such a pro. He looks like he can control when he's going to knock out people. Oh, nice right hand flush on the jaw of Chavez, but nothing happened.
That might have been the best punch of the night. He turned in on that and there hit him with it again.
And if anything, Bobby, it just makes Chavez mad.
Well, I'll tell you, he hit him with 3 of them there. That's the best success he's had with 3 consecutive shots.
15 seconds to go in round 9. Chavez, who has a granite chin. Low blow by Parisi.
Well, there have been many. No, low blow received by Parisi.
Yes.
Been many.
Dammi la vaselina. Mi piace. Dov'è il ghiaccio? No, ok. Sul viso.
Hit him. Try to hit him in the face. Try to hit him right in the face.
Respira bene. Asciuga buono.
Nothing actually being said.
Giuliano, mouthpiece. Giuliano,
just talking about him very nice, and that's it. Not really much being said at all. They're not even edging him on at all.
So very quiet from trainer Giovanni Bocciolini as they work on the cut, the abrasion under the left eye of Parisi, and it's been quiet in both corners, but of course it is a lopsided affair in favor of Chavez.
No, Chavez makes it easy because all you got to do is add 10s in a box. I mean, you don't get all complicated with 9s and stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, in both corners, obviously there's not a lot of talk, but for totally opposite reasons. I think there might be resign in Parisi's corner that, okay, he's going to do his best to survive. There's not too much you can do. Everything they tried in the early rounds didn't work, isn't working, and is not going to work. And Chavez's corner, just go out and do what you were doing because everything's working.
Yeah, so what you're saying is the attitude of the corner reflects the fight.
Pretty much.
I think so.
The judges, just for the record, Terry Smith and Lou Filippo of California, Carol Castellano of Nevada. Joe Cortez, third man in the ring.
Look at this, look at this.
Pounding to the body, Chavez.
That kind of body punching, even when he was in a position which looked like he was going to be smothered, he still ripped off 4 or 5 punches.
starting to zero in a little more on the body with a little more enthusiasm is Chavez, and I think right now he's trying to not allow Parisi to stay the 12 rounds, which seems to be what Parisi is determined to do.
There's that jab by Chavez.
Well, Chavez always says these are his rounds, 10, 11, and 12. I mean, he likes it.
Yep. We said it at the top. He gets stronger as the fight wears on. And it would bode well for Parisi to get started quickly, but he was unable. The questions are coming in. Can Parisi overcome the legendary Chavez or even stand up to him? Right now, the answer, a resounding no.
Yeah. And it's been a resounding no from early on.
I'll tell you, a minute ago, Parisi landed another one of those good right hands, but it doesn't even phase Chavez. And if you can't get his attention the way Frankie Randall did, you're not going to have a chance to do anything.
Look at this head movement by Chavez. Beautiful bobbing and weaving.
I wonder if Chavez is getting tired of hearing all that vocalizing that he's doing, that Parisi's doing. Bobby, you ever fought a guy that sings as much as this guy does? Parisi does?
I haven't paid too much attention to that, Ferdy. You know, some guys make some different sounds when they work. Sometimes I make some grunts, and sometimes I make some squeaks. You know what? You never can tell.
And that's as a broadcaster.
Exactly.
Round 10 continues. Chavez, who might be pitching a shutout. Under 20 seconds. Parisi missing wildly with the combination, and Chavez again invites him in. And look at this head movement by Chavez.
Chavez just playing. Cat and mouse.
Toying with the challenger.
Something he's not normally prone to doing, showing off.
We never see Chavez showboat like this.
No, that's a Pernell Whitaker. Maybe he's rehearsing to fight Pernell. Let's listen.
Que se pegue él. Si no se para, que se pegue él. Muy bien. Tirarle, Julio. Muy bien, muy bien. No más lo hagas fallar, sino tirar también. Dale, traga un poquito, traga un poquito de agua. Muy bien. Sigue picando con esa izquierda que lo estás haciendo muy bien.
All right, let's watch a champion having fun. He's been on the offensive. He says, now let me show you what a great defensive fighter is. Come on, let me show you. Throw all you got and you can't hit me. Yeah, you can't hit me. No. See? No. He just, look at that. Miss. And he didn't even throw anything back, although he could have. It was just like a little bit of fun. I mean, God bless guys with talent.
Well, you're a guy, Ferdy, who saw much of that. It's called the rope-a-dope.
Yeah, Ali started something, but many great fighters had used it well before. Willie Pep and all these guys that knew how to use the ropes. Willie Pastrana, guys that really knew how to use the ropes and were defensive geniuses. It was wonderful to see those guys fight.
Well, one thing we can say for the challenger, Parisi, he takes Chavez into the 11th round. He was knocked down earlier on in the second. But Chavez in total command.
I don't know if he takes him there or if he's allowed to get there by Chavez. Chavez doesn't seem to be interested at all in knocking this guy out. He's just giving him a nice beating.
But a few rounds ago, he seemed to start working the body as if he wanted to stop this fighter. And right now, he's starting to pick that same pace up again.
Being forward by Cortez, not really. He just wanted them to continue fighting.
Well, they're trying hard to do that.
Let's see if Chavez now gets more determined to put Parisi back down on the canvas.
You know, it's remarkable he's flying around on the skinny legs, these guys, because he's taking a big body beating. Well, that should have killed his legs. Parisi is trying the best he can to avoid being knocked out, and that's as good as you can say about this. Come on, there you go.
Parisi just cannot get close to Chavez, who's too quick for him defensively. And those punches to the head having no effect. There's a right hand by Parisi, but it just bounced off Chavez's head.
Well, Parisi's always trying, but it's just not enough. It's so too little and so too late.
Yeah, but I bet Chavez's corner hates this. You don't want to take a chance on cuts. You don't want to take a chance on a lot of things. You just hate that kind of play.
And those punches may have decked a lesser skilled fighter. Now hitting to the back of the head with Chavez, getting warm.
They're actually holding.
Oh, look at this. More showboating.
Yeah. I think he must be as bored as the audience. He figures, well, let me give him a little fun.
Well, what he's doing now is he's being malicious. He's being a little mean. He's taunting his opponent.
Yeah, say, come on.
Let's go, come on.
He's going, oh, come on. It's almost like the no mas thing, where Duran figured Sugar Ray was never going to fight him. He was going to run all over the place and quit.
Well, it does have the crowd going. The hot dog affects of Chavez, and it spurs on Parisi. The crowd getting behind Parisi, the underdog.
And maybe if it had done that from the beginning, we'd have had a different kind of fight. There you go. That's a good one.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's made it very enjoyable, at least at this stage, and he's got a lot of heart, and I like his grit, but I'll tell you what, it's just not going to be enough.
Less than 20.
Whoa.
Wild miss, Chavez.
He did a very bad Ali shuffle. Best round of this fight, most enjoyable.
Well, it certainly energized Giovanni Parisi. Will follow Parisi into his corner, and they're gonna have something to say now. Maria Santini, our translator.
This is the way you have to do it. This is the way you have to do it.
Non fermarti davanti senza muovere le mani, Joe. Hai visto? Hai visto?
Final round, Joe Cortez had to physically take Chavez's glove and lift it to touch Parisi. Chavez wanted nothing from Parisi. Parisi has gone 12 rounds, only twice in his career, both wins for the WBO lightweight title. Well, he gets into the 12th with Chavez, but Chavez in total control. The best round for Parisi was the last round when he was encouraged by the crowd.
I think I see knockout in the eyes of Cesar. He wants to finish this off. Julio Cesar Chavez. He's come out to punch.
I was just going to say the same thing. For now, it's just a matter of, do I stop him or not? And that's about all there is here, because I don't think Parisi has enough to knock Chavez out. That's not even a question now.
So Cesar at Caesars looking to put the punctuation mark on this fight against Parisi.
Oh. He can go back to Italy and brag that he went 12 with the great Julio César Chavez and lived with that the rest of his life, because he did not disgrace himself. He just simply was outclassed by a superior fighter.
I get the feeling Chavez will stay away from the hot dog tactics here, because the last time he did it, the crowd got behind Parisi.
No, he's doing it again.
He is doing it again. He should learn his lesson.
And he doesn't even understand English. He didn't hear you. He's just doing it on his own. So he did it again.
Shouldn't do it. Not good.
He's coming on. He's coming on.
But like you say, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
In terms of cuts, I'm sure his corner doesn't like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, at least make it interesting and entertaining toward the end here. Parisi's showing he's made a heart. He's a little bit of a showman too. Chavez just being Chavez.
Come on, let's fight. Come on, get out.
Chavez pretty much on mark. Quite the contrast with the challenger Parisi. And unlike after his wars with Frankie the Surgeon Randall. 50 seconds to go in the 12th round. At least we haven't had any clashing of heads.
No, we haven't had any of those crazy things that have been happening in all of our programs. We just had a straight old fight.
Now we've had a couple of elbows and shoulders.
Yes, a couple of low blows by Chavez, but no clashing of heads, thank goodness.
Considering the way we've had these nights, this is a peaceful affair.
Yes.
Oh, wow, just a regular fight.
Relatively speaking, as we approach 20 seconds remaining of the fight. And Julio César Chavez on his way to defending his title once again. You may hear the Parisi corner going ballistic to our left. Final 10 seconds. But I'm afraid a little too late, folks. And that is it. So they go the distance, 12 rounds, and Julio César Chavez on the threshold of his 94th victory as he punishes Giovanni Parisi. As the countdown to the final journey is officially on. Looking to run his remarkable record at 94-1-1, getting closer and closer to that century mark, 100 fights, needing now just 4 more. Buffalo Martin in there, and they apply the ice pack, Bobby, to the face of Giovanni Parisi, and he got banged around pretty well here tonight. No marks, just a little bit. We always see that on the bridge of Chavez's nose every fight.
That seems to be his bruise area, designated bruise area.
His badge of honor. All smiles, Julio César Chavez, in contrast to the face as they continue to apply the ice pack on Giovanni Parisi, who will not be a pretty sight in the morning.
Although something I did notice about Parisi for having championship fights and having a record as good as he does, his nose is pretty straight, Steve.
Yes.
You chased him all night long.
And he's still bobbing and weaving, Julio César Chavez. Looks like he could go another 12.
The only knockdown of the fight we have here in round 2 is just a straight step in, like a shotgun power jab. He just steps into him, foot gets caught under him, and you'll see it right here. Bang. And his right leg just collapses, and down he goes. Not a powerful shot, more of a flash knockdown. I certainly thought he got hit with better shots later. Here you see it again from the overhead cam. He just steps in. This is about as simple as it gets. Boom. And down he goes.
So Julio César Chavez awaiting the decision. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Terry Smith, scores the bout 120 to 107. Lou Filippo and Carol Castellano both score the bout exactly the same at 118 to 109. All three in favor of the winner and still champion, Julio César Chavez.
His third title defense in his second reign as WBC super lightweight champ, gets hoisted into the air. His 16th successful defense overall to this title. Now 31-1 in world championship bouts, 4-0 since his only defeat to Frankie Randall. So it's 4 down, 1 to go, and coming up next, our main event here at Caesars, the WBC Heavyweight Championship, Oliver McCall and Larry Holmes. And let's take you backstage into the dressing room of the champion, Oliver, the Atomic Bull McCall, on the threshold of his first defense of the title, looking to prove to the world he is not just a sparring partner, as many have labeled him. Young man who once had dreams of playing college or pro basketball finds himself in the almost surreal setting of fighting 45-year-old former world champion Larry Holmes. Looking very determined in the dressing room, Oliver McCall. That's all coming up, McCall and Holmes. Right now, the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, is standing by in the ring. Doctor.
All right, Gladys, ask him if he thought he was going to have an easy night because he knocked him down in the second round.
No, de ninguna manera sabía que era una pelea difícil.
No, he knew it was going to be a very difficult.
Él es un buen peleador, corre mucho.
He's a very good fighter, but he runs a great deal.
Así no se puede pelear.
Like that, you can't fight.
And all that joking and clowning around he did?
Él estaba haciendo como el payaso y eso, como te estuvo.
Yo creo que la pelea fue no del agrado de mucha gente, pero del agrado mío. Realmente hice lo que tenía que hacer, no tenía que desesperarme porque era un peleador que estaba cazándome.
He says he feels that the fight was the kind of a fight that was a good one, but he says that he wasn't in his caliber. He certainly didn't do what he had to do.
All right. Como estamos corticos de tiempo, me tengo que ir.
Okay. Que mañana nos vemos en Culiacán. A las 11 de la mañana los espero ahí con la tambora. Y esta pelea se le dediqué a cada uno de todos los mexicanos. ¡Viva México!
All right. With the usual travel, we're going to throw to Jim Gray now.
Thank you, Ferdy. I'm here with Frankie Randall. He is the only man who has ever beaten Julio César Chavez. In fact, many believe he's beaten him twice, even though that was very controversial several months ago. Frankie, what is your assessment tonight of Julio César Chavez?
I feel like Julio César Chavez was in one of the greatest shapes of his life. I think he's at his path. He's on the avenue to do good and finish out well. So Chavez done a good job tonight. Parisi was not a fighter. He's a boxer, and he ran all night, and there wasn't much to it.
Parisi just really wouldn't fight him, would he?
He don't have the heart, you know what I mean? You got to stand there and fight somebody like Chavez in order to get some respect. The man didn't get no respect at all. So I'm the one that shows how the job is done. You know how it is.
Frankie, you come into tonight feeling as though you were going to fight the winner. Is it your plan to now go and fight Julio César Chavez again?
Well, I understand that Don announced it in the press conference the other day that I will be fighting the winner of this fight, so I hope everything goes well. I know they've made these announcements before that I'll be fighting Chavez, but now I hope that things go well and me and Chavez get to unify this title against the WBA and the WBC. Hopefully things work out.
Would you be willing to go fight him back in Mexico, or would it have to be here in the United States?
Well, we started this mess in Las Vegas, so let's finish it right here. But if worse comes to worse and I have to, then I have no choice. I want to give the people what they want. I want to fight Chavez again myself, but I'd rather fight him here in Las Vegas where all the action took place.
Could you get a fair shake back in Mexico?
I think so. I got a lot of Mexican fans that like me, a lot of people that respect me. I fought in Monterrey, Mexico, December the 10th. So I think so. I don't have any grudge against any of the Mexicans. I don't think the Mexicans have any grudge against me either.
What about the thought of Pernell Whitaker?
Well, Pernell Whitaker, my door is open. I've been up to his fight up in Norfolk, Virginia. If money's right and the price is right, I'll fight Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker, if he wants to fight me, I'm ready, you know.
Frankie, thank you. You look great tonight.
Thanks a lot.
All right, let's go back to Steve.
All right, Jim, I think Randall richly deserves another shot at Julio César Chavez after what happened in the last fight. But I don't agree with him as far as this fight is concerned. I think that Parisi showed heart. He just didn't have the skill or the power